Hey everybody, MrFlavorsmith here, and today we're going to do my 6-month review on my Monument Grill's E605 gas grill. And of course, we're going to do a cook. And in today's video, we're going to be doing smash burgers and some smoked burgers. We're going to be using Monument Grill's premium combo package. So this premium combo package includes a cast iron griddle, a stainless steel smoke box that goes inside under the grill, and it goes lengthwise or depthwise, and it sits right on the edge of the front and the back of the grill chamber, underneath the grill, in between the burners. And it also includes 3 premium primary utensils that you use all the time. One of those is a hot brush for cleaning up the grill when it's nice and hot. Hot wire brush, pretty simple. It just removes a lot of the buildup on your grill. And you can do so when it's nice and hot, and the stainless steel bristles do not get damaged. But you want to be sure after you use this that you go through and use some sort of polymer brush just to make sure that you catch any possible little bristles that might have been left behind in the cleanup process when you're using the hot brush. The next utensil, it's just a go-to. It's a spatula. It's another premium product by Monument Grills. It's a really, really nice spatula. One of the nicest I've ever used. And you know what that's used for? Flipping some smash burgers, of course. And the one I'm really excited about is a really nice long pair of premium grade tongs. I use tongs for just about everything, honestly. So without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so let's get into some of the things I really like about this grill. Let's start at the ground up. I love these locking casters. These are swiveling locking casters. And there are 4 of these swiveling locking casters on this grill, which is just awesome. It makes it very easy to move it around your backyard and lock it into place. Next thing is really nice is the sear station on here. It's just the right size to fit a very large steak on there, and it gets nice and hot. I mean, honestly, it's right under 1100 degrees Fahrenheit is what I tested it at, which does a pretty decent job of searing a steak for a reverse sear. I love the size of this grill. This grill is nice and big, and the size allows you to cook a wide range of things at the same time. As you can see, it has 6 main burners, 1 rear burner, and 1 side burner. That's for your reverse sear. 6 main burners. This is awesome. And I gotta tell you, these burners truly are amazing. You can't see it really good right now because it's right in the middle of the day, but let's turn this unit on. Here's the power button right here. And what this does is actually these burners will light up at night, and it'll indicate your temperature range that you're in. There's like, I think 3 or 4 different colors in there, and what it does is it plays off of the internal temperature gauge that's right inside, right here. Under that hood, that little protective hood down there is a little probe, and that measures your ambient temperature, which is read right here on your digital display. Right now it's reading 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And I just want to note, you're not seeing that display the same way I'm seeing it in person. It is an LED, and LEDs do not get captured on the camera very well. But it is perfectly solid and absolutely beautiful. Another thing I really, really like about this, do you see that little green tank right there? That's right, that is a tank gauge. It measures how full your tank is. Let's check that out. Right there at the base of that tank is the stand that it sits on. And this little stand measures how full the tank actually is. I'm not sure how it does it, if it's using a little sonar that pops up into there, or if it's actually using the weight of the tank. But it works really good and has already saved me a couple of times on cooks. Going back to this main little brain right here, we have 2 different ports. That's right. That's for your probes. And this unit comes with these 2 long probes, and they plug right into there and work really, really good. You can measure the internal temperature of 2 proteins at the same time. And it also has 1 additional port right there. It's a USB-C. This is a charging port for your phone or any other device that you need charged while you're grilling. This unit also has a couple different light modes. You have the one light mode that measures like the ambient temperature and kind of tells you where the grill is at. And then you have a couple different party modes, which are really kind of fun. These knobs will change a wide range of colors. The built-in trash can has come in hand quite often, and it's just a nice additional feature to have, and it is removable. I also like that inside the bottom chamber here, we have a rack that's on here. So you have 2 different areas to store things. It just comes in handy. I like the size of the side table. It fits my silicone mat just nice and perfect, so it's an easy cleanup. I don't have it set up right now, but there's your rotisserie rack. This will actually hold the motor, and your rotisserie rod goes all the way down and spins on these little wheels right here. And that back burner right there is what heats up the spinning bird. Having a rotisserie system on a gas grill, I feel, is just essential. And that grill surface, it's seen some use, this entire thing has. But these 6 burners really heat this grill up. I'm telling you, I've measured its ambient temperature at over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. I really like the removable grills that are on here. They're stainless steel, they're nice and thick, and they clean up nice and easily. And the cleanup on this is a cinch. Come to the back chamber here, lift this up, slide out your drip pan, and removing your grease tray is a cinch, just like that. Long story short, 6 months into it and just around 30 cooks on here. Between myself and my family members, we really like this system. It does everything it needs to do. It does it really good. If you entertain a lot, this is a grill system that's perfect for big parties. And because those burners get really, really hot, if you want to do reverse sear directly on here without even hitting that side burner, you totally can. And due to the large size, doing an indirect cook and doing a nice slow cook where you just put a couple of the burners on one side and then put your proteins on the other side and cook indirect, it's extremely easy to do with this large cook chamber. All right, and there it is. That's our Monument Grill smoke box. It's a big one. All right, so inside this smoke box, this is meant for using the chips, not chunks, not the dust, but the chips. That's the mid-size pieces, the little wood chips. And today we're gonna be using these by Western Premium Barbecue Products. It's the cherry smoking chips. These work really great. Gonna add some great flavor to our burgers. This just opens up, and we'll fill this entire chamber all the way up. And then what happens is, it sits between the burners, so this is gonna heat this box up, it's gonna heat the chips, and then the smoke's gonna start coming out through this area right here, through here, and all the edges and everything. It's gonna work really good. I'm excited. So we're just gonna remove this side grate right here. We're gonna stick the box in there from front to back, right on the ledge, and we're gonna push it over to the far burner. That way we can have this get nice and hot, and this will be the main burner to heat this up. And because this grill was just recently cleaned and degreased fully, we need to actually lube it back up. So what we're gonna use today, it's a high heat seed-based oil. A lot of seed oils like grape seed and things like that work really good. That usually gets you above the 450 degree Fahrenheit temperature so it doesn't burn. I like to use this to season all of my cast iron, all of my grill surfaces and everything like that. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna spray a little bit on here. Soak this up. And since this grill grate is not hot, we just use our hands. Put more on. If you're gonna attempt doing this hot, use some tongs and that works just fine. And you just have to move really quick when it's hot. And there we go. Grill surface is good to go. And with all of our knobs in the vertical position, this is the off position for each one of the burners. Now we can go and open up the tank. Nothing hard about this, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. So we're going to the left. Open up our tank fully. So this is how I like to light my grills. I work from the right all the way to the left. Even though I'm not gonna turn these burners on, I'm gonna use it right now to light it up. What I believe this does is this helps get any of the air out of the line. That way we get a nice, good, clean burn from that fuel. So this is the way we start it. Number one, here we go. Push in, turn all the way past the ignition point or the hot point, release the pressure, turn it back. Now that's on. Come over here to the ignition, press in. There we go. We've lit the first burner. And you want to make sure when you light your burners that the lid is always open. That way the gas doesn't build up and you don't get a big We'll go on to the next one. Bypass this one because that's the rear burner. We don't need to worry about that one. We're gonna go to number two, go past, hit again. That's ignited. Number three, same thing. Number four. Number five. Number six. Perfect. Now we're going to go through and turn all these burners from here over off. Keeping number 6 on. And we're going to turn that to medium. Now let's get the burgers. All right, I'm back with the burgers, ready to put them on. I'm actually going to start this number 5 burner again. So I'm going to turn the gas on, ignite it, and then I'm going to turn burner number 6 that's controlling the smoke chamber. We're going to turn that to high. Grab our burgers. All right, so here we are right here. This is number 6, this is number 5. We have 4, 3, 2, and 1 that we're not igniting right now. We're just going to have these both on high for a few minutes. Let's put our patties on. And we're going to stack these up right on the right side of burner number 4. And we're going to keep them kind of close to that heat source. All right, and as you can see, our wood box is starting to smoke already. Now we're going to close the cook chamber. Now let's get our app going that'll monitor everything. I want to monitor the ambient temperature, which is right here in the middle. That's going to give us a good indication of what our temperature's at. All right, let's find our app. There we go. Open up our app. Connect with our grill. There we go. It's reading an ambient temperature of 136 degrees Fahrenheit right now. And it's only been on for about 2 minutes. Now I'm not seeing any smoke coming out of here yet, but I do see, and maybe you're able to pick that up, some of the heat that's coming out of there. You see the waves of the heat. I smell the wood chips just a little bit, not very much right now. Ambient temperature just went up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Whoop, 145. It just keeps jumping up. 153. So it's rising pretty quick. I'm hoping that this gets to a temperature of about 270 to 350 degrees Fahrenheit relatively quick. When I say relatively quick, hopefully in the next 10 minutes. All right, right at 8 minutes into it, we're sitting at an ambient temperature of 199 degrees. I'm gonna stick the probes in a couple of these patties right now. Probe number 1, we're gonna put all the way over here to the left. We're gonna stick in it's about halfway through the patty right now. And then probe number 2, we'll stick over here, right in the center. Just like that. See if that actually works. What I can do is I can pull it out just a little bit. Now that'll close. The rubber feet that are on here give that perfect gap. And let's just check out the smoke box because it just started smoking pretty decent. As you can see, the smoke is coming right out through the monument cutout. So it's working good. So this is going to be an indirect cook because we have no heat over here on these burners. And we have just the heat from these 2 burners giving us the ambient heat and also heating up our smoke box. That way we get that smoldering effect and we get that nice wood smoke throughout the cook. All right, so let's go ahead and set up this cook. We have probe number 1 sitting at 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and we have probe number 2 sitting at 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So remember, probe number 1, it's the closest to the heat source, so that's gonna get a little bit hotter quicker. And we have an ambient temperature of 196. So let's just set up a cook. Okay, we're gonna go 153. I'm gonna say 145. Perfect. And we're doing beef. So right there, we'll go, so there's 2 different ways you can really do this, honestly. You can set it up like this, or you can go through and just hit this. This is kind of cool. We'll do this, all right? And we'll just say medium at 151. All right, start. Cool. We'll go back over here. So now cook 1 on probe 1 is set up. Now let's go set up probe number 2. We'll do the same thing. Actually, we'll try this one a little bit different. We'll go and do it this way. 153. And every time I hit that, I get an audible over on the physical device on the grill right there. All right. And now you can see this one's at 151 and this one's at 145. Let's just change that one back to 145 so you can do it manually. That's really cool that you can fine tune the temperature, the exact target temperature you want. Go back. There we go. Ambient temperature, 201 degrees. All right. So when this hits to about 140, one of these hits to about 140 internal temperature, we'll come back. So I'm not even sure if you can see that, but there is just a nice white, like kind of bluish tint to the smoke, and it's a very clean looking smoke. So we don't have a dirty smoke going on. So what that means is that our burgers will get the smoke flavor to it, but it won't be too bitter. Sometimes if you get like a dirty smoke going where it's a really vibrant, color, then you can see it really, really well. It ends up giving you a bitter flavor. This is awesome that this is working out like this. Just turned this gas grill into a smoker. Awesome. All right, just about 45 minutes into it, we have an ambient temperature of 207 degrees Fahrenheit. And probe number 1 has an alarm right now. It's hit its internal temperature of 145 degrees. And probe number 2 still sitting at 135. We're gonna go ahead and stop the cook on the app for probe number 1. Actually, no, the alarm just stopped. Awesome. All right, let's check this out though. Ready for it? Here we go. Boom. Look at that. Smoke is still coming up from the smoker box. There we go. These little burgers are looking pretty good. So I used a dill pickle rub on this, dill pickle seasoning from McCormick. It's from the Grill Mate series. I have never tried this on burgers yet. I've been dying to do it. So I wonder how the dill pickle flavor is gonna mix with this cherry wood on this ground beef. I'm very interested to see how this works out. We're gonna spin these burgers and kind of move them around a little bit. Using our new Monument spatula, we're gonna move these over here and these over here. And try and do this as easy as I can. Actually, I'm not gonna use a spatula. We're gonna use the tongs for this. These are great tongs, so they just lock. Push that in, they open up. These are 17-inch tongs. This is gonna work out way better. So I'm gonna actually flip these over and move them over like this. We're just gonna keep the middle ones right in here. We're just gonna flip them over though. Back over right here. Just get everything nice and close again. Close it back up. Alrighty, we just hit 145 on probe number 2, which is right here. And it's now, boom, boom, boom. Look at that. All right, we got a little bit more color going right there. It looks like our wood is completely spent. So what I'd like to do now is, I'm gonna do like a quick little burn on these bad boys, get a little char on us. I'm gonna pull these probes out, then we're just gonna throw them over some hot burners. Let's do the dance. Pull this patty down, pull the wire out, let that sit over here, sit over here. We're gonna turn our burner on, that's right here, our burner on that's right here, and our burner on that's right here. Burner number 2, light it. Burner number 3, light it. And burner number 4, light it. And then now we're gonna turn burner number 5 off. We have burner number 4, 3, and 2 on high. We're gonna close this lid just for a second. All right, it's been 2 minutes. We'll open this up and check them out. Yeah, got a little bit of char going there. We'll flip them over. There we go. That's what we're after. Just a little bit of heat to them. Awesome. There we go, we'll go for another 2 minutes, maybe a minute. Have an ambient temperature in there of 462 degrees. Let's pull them, it's been about a minute. Just gonna probe it real quick, but I know we're done. 152, yeah, we're done. Ooh, yeah. Look at that juicy burger. Can't wait to chomp into these bad boys. Turn everything off, starting with the right. Perfect. Okay, so that took right around 45-ish minutes to do from start to finish. And from what I've seen, it looked like it did the job enough. It doesn't look like it got a lot of smoke color to it. And that's because the whole entire back end of this Monument Eminence Series 605 grill has the opening in the back for it to breathe. And so a lot of that smoke was coming out right where the smoke box was at, and it wasn't actually going over the meat and then out another way. So I'm gonna come up with a modification for this that will allow me to actually turn this into a quick little smoker for doing burgers, and maybe just adding a little flavor stack layer of smoke on top of a steak before we actually go and do a reverse sear. And that's just gonna be a piece of metal, probably some stainless steel piece that I'm gonna bend, and I can move back and forth and then take off and on. That way I can block right where the smoke box area is at, and it'll travel over the meat, exit out over the meat. That will actually turn this into a really nice little smoking unit for a quick little smoke flavor on there. Let's bite into this and see what it tastes like. Like I said, I've never done the dill pickle seasoning in the meat before. It changed the color in some of the areas. It went from like a nice pink reddish color to like this ugly brown color, but that's where the flavor's at. So that on top of having the cherry smoke on there, let's see if we can get any of that in this. I tell you what, it does have color to it. It does have color to it. Man, these little guys are hot. This might be too hot for me to do. It does have a good amount of color in it. Let's bite in. Whoa. Immediately, that dill pickle spice just boom, hits your mouth. Immediately. Hold on, I gotta do this again. All right. I have a very subtle little bit of smoke on there. Like I said, this needs to be altered to give you a better smoke flavor to it. Another way of doing this that I've always done in the past is I've cooked right over the top of the smoking area. And that's what's really cool about this piece by Monument, the smoker box, is it fits in between the burners. So actually probably a really good practical place to put it, no, we can't do so much of the indirect cook, is to put it probably right in the center of the grill. That way the smoke will kind of penetrate to the left, to the right, and everything. That might be the better way to actually use this. But hey, it's a learning experience. All right, let's get on to the next thing. Some smash burgers with the griddle. So good. All right, so now we're gonna use the Monument griddle that goes in here, and it replaces one of these. We already have one of our grill grate surfaces out. We'll do it on this one right here. So we're gonna move this grill grate over. We'll move this one over, and we'll put our griddle right here. Actually, I wanna do it right there. Perfect. Let's grab that griddle. And on this is cast iron, and it has a grill side, and then it has a smooth griddle side on the other side. We're gonna use this for our smash burgers. Just slide it on in. Now we need to apply some oil to it so we can get this kind of seasoned a little bit, because it's brand new. And we're using that high heat seed oil. I'm just spraying it on this time. Take a clean cloth, rub it in. Turn on the heat, so that's sitting right over burner number 4. Let's see if I can push it over just a little bit. And then we'll actually turn on burner number 5 and burner number 3. Let that heat up for a few minutes, we'll close the lid. All right, it's been a few minutes on high heat. This thing's smoking. Let's see what our surface temperature thermometer says. Try and go right in the middle. 520. 525. So right around 500, that's pretty much the sear temperature. So we're good. All right, let's get these burgers on and smashed up. All right, so what we're after here to happen is something called the Maillard reaction. It's when amino acids and reducing sugars meet together at high temperatures, a chemical reaction happens and it changes the flavor of the beef. That's that caramel looking color that you see when it's properly done. And this happens on a lot of different poultries, chicken, pork, beef, whatever it is, but it makes it super, super yummy. It's very similar to the caramelization process in onions, but that's just with reducing sugars. This is with amino acids and reducing sugars. It changes the flavor, but you have to have a really hot surface to do it. So here we go. We're gonna put one of our meatballs down, then we're gonna put some parchment paper right over the top of it, and we're gonna smash it. So here we go, right in the center. Piece of parchment paper, our smasher, and we're gonna push down. fast and hard as we can. And you really want to get a good smash. Paper up. Now we're going to take our spatula, come in, flip it over, repeat the process. See what we've got. Well, it's not the exact thing I was after, but that sure is cooked. Do this right here. Good smash. Just doing it. As you can see, I'm not a pro at smash burgers. It's not something I really ever do, but I'm always willing to give it a shot. Check it out. A little bit better. Down to the same thing. Oh, that's hotter. That's what we need. That's the good sear. Real good hot spot right there. Yeah. That's the heat we're after. Bet you that's actually done. Let's see what that looks like. Oh yeah, so that got it better. There it is. All right, so that was fun. There was the smash burgers. You know, the secret to smash burgers is really getting that griddle surface extremely hot. And I think on this one too, those meatballs I had on there, they were really cold. I just pulled them out of the fridge. I think if we were to let it get to like, not room temperature, obviously, but just a little bit warmer, then we would have been okay. Also, you're gonna wanna put that burger and smash it towards the back of the grill, because that's where it's really hot back there. I didn't do that on all of them, but the one I did do it on, it made a big difference on that. All right, now let's bite into it and see how it tastes. There we go. There's my one. We got a whole stack in here. Let's taste it out. You know what? It's a burger. Boy, that's mighty tasty. Finger looking good. Man, I really like that dill seasoning. That's tasty. So 6 months into it, how do I feel about this Monument Eminence Series E605 6-burner gas grill? I tell you what, I love this thing. We use it all the time. I do a lot of different cooking on my channel, whether it's charcoal, pellet, whatever it is. I do a lot of different things. I'm always going back to my grill, my gas grill, just because it's so easy to use. A lot of times, I just have like 30 minutes to do something. I don't have a lot of time to do anything else. And the same thing with my wife. My wife comes out here and uses it as well. It's easy for everybody to use. The cleanup is just a super simple thing to do. And you only really need to clean your grill up like maybe every 3 to 4 cooks, depending on what you're grilling. If you're grilling something that's really greasy, like a really high fat content burger or something like that, you gotta be careful because you will catch this on fire. That's what happens. You'll get grease fires. If you do a lot of burgers like that, you're probably gonna wanna clean out that drip pan every single time just to prevent that buildup from happening, because once this thing heats up and it gets hot and that grease catches on fire, you're gonna have yourself a grease fire. And I've done it twice on this grill already. So we do a lot of burgers here. If you guys got any value out of this content at all today, please do me a huge favor. Like the video, comment what you liked about it and what you didn't like about it. And as always, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me produce more valuable, flavorful content like this for you in the future. And until next time, live life of flavor.